Good, happy Monday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. Torrential rain causes flooding in Concord. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
Nice. I have to get used to this. The classroom chairs are not this comfortable. And how come the bus doesn't have heated seats? Mom always said there's room for improvement. I disagree.
During our back-to-school sales event, get 0% financing for lease new 2016 Passat, only $149 a month.
What are you doing?
Mom, can we take this one?
It is nice.
Auto Fair makes it happen.
Overnight, the rains moved in. In one Concord neighborhood, it meant an early morning wake-up call for the residents. Dwayne Hardy was doing his best to keep up with the deluge, but losing the battle. Hardy says he has at least 2 feet of water in his basement.
I got a new washing machine, but that's probably no good now because the motor's underneath the water. I got a couple televisions that are underwater. My vacuum cleaner was floating around. I had a lot of clothes, pictures, books. A lot of my kids' winter clothes, my winter clothes were all down here, and they were all floating underwater.
Torrential.
That's the word that Jamie Callahan picked when asked to describe the rain.
We heard the rain this morning, and my girlfriend got up, and she shut the windows, and 2 minutes later after that, my neighbor knocked on the door and told me to move my car.
Callahan was lucky. He got his car moved in time. Jeremy Hardy wasn't.
I think the water just rolled up through the muffler into the engine when I went to back out at 3:30 this morning.
Now, Hardy says, all he can do is wait for the sun to come out. This year, the state has been dealing with extreme drought conditions in southern New Hampshire. Among the hardest hit are the state's farmers. Robert LaRock says it's too late for this year, but it could help.
This time of year, everything's just sucking in nutrients to get through the winter. So it'll help for next year, putting water in there.
And there could be some benefit for this year.
Will probably help in keeping the apples on the trees for the next 3 or 4 weeks, which is what we want.
LaRock says that they were able to irrigate the pumpkin and squash crops, so they should be in good shape this fall. But he says come next spring, they might be looking at digging a bigger irrigation pond. Reporting live in Concord, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Former Nashua man accused of sexually assaulting girl 11. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
Dealer of the Year offers you the most award-winning vehicles on the road today. Drive the award-winning most dependable midsize 2016 Chevy Malibu LS for only $219 a month with no money down.
Naked McMulkin.
Felix Perez faces 3 felony-level charges of aggravated felonious sexual assault. Crimes Nashua police say he committed against a young girl over the course of several months.
Arrest had been remained at $200,000 cash only. We base this on the extremely heinous nature of these offenses, what we're alleging occurred. The fact that we're alleging the victim is 11 years old and Mr. Perez is 45 years old.
Court documents say Perez lived in Nashua between April and August before moving to New York. Police say the assaults were not random and he knew the victim.
And ultimately, Mr. Perez was located down in the area of the Bronx. He was taken into custody as a fugitive. He went to court down there. He waived extradition, and he was brought back to New Hampshire and booked into the Nashua Police Department.
Court documents say as a result of the assaults, the young victim became pregnant. Police call the charges serious and disturbing. Police say Perez only faces 3 counts, but one of the charges alleges a pattern of sexual assault.
Based on the investigation, there's information to support a charge of pattern, and basically that means that Mr. Perez was sexually assaulting this juvenile over a period of time on multiple occasions.
Bail remained at $200,000 cash only. Perez will be back in court later this month. Reporting live, I'm Andy Hirschberger,
Okay, and there you go on that report. Motorcyclist killed in crash on Route 28 in Londonderry. A motorcyclist was killed Sunday night in a crash along Route 28 in Londonderry. Police said the motorcycle crashed around 8 p.m. near the Yard restaurant. No other vehicles were involved in the crash. Sections of Route 28 and Route 28A were closed for several hours. The victim's name has not been released. The cause of the crash is under investigation. Great white shark named after Big Papi. A great white shark spotted off the coast of Cape Cod has been named after retiring Boston Red Sox slugger David Ortiz. The Boston Globe reported that researchers from a nonprofit Atlantic White Shark Conservancy announced Saturday they were naming the 15-foot male shark Big Papi in honor of Ortiz's, who is also known by that nickname. The great white shark was tagged September 9th off the coast of Willa Fleet by state biologist Greg Scalmo during an exercise with the Conservancy. Big Papi is one of 19 sharks tagged off the Cape Cod coast since the start of the summer. Suspect in New Jersey bombings caught after shootout. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
Central Multi-Gummies. See gummies in a whole new light.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So with me today from NYPD is Tommy Galati, Bobby Boyce, Jimmy Waters, Carlos Gomez, Ben Tucker. We have Vanessa Gibson from the City Council, Cy Vance from the Manhattan DA's office, Preet Brar from the Southern District, John Miller, and Bill Sweeney from the FBI. So it's been an extremely busy 2 days, obviously, and many people have worked intensely, tirelessly, relentlessly, and seamlessly in this investigation into the bombings that occurred in New York City and New Jersey. It came out successful. So today, our efforts were successful thanks to the brave police officers from the Linden, New Jersey Police Department. They captured this dangerous individual, Ahmad Khan Rahmani, right here. However, in doing so, we had 2 police officers that were injured out in Linden, New Jersey, and I wish their best and hopefully a speedy recovery. This is another example of what law enforcement does every day. They put themselves in harm's way to protect others, regardless of the risks. And this all started on Saturday. I went down to that scene on 23rd Street, see the devastation from the blast, and the response by not only NYPD, by the FBI, the ATF, the fire department, by EMS, Port Authority, the state police. They all went to the danger. And for my first day on the job, it's my first day on this job, but certainly not my first day on the job. I was just so proud of what I saw that day, the work that was done, and how it was done together. All the agencies, just the level of cooperation was impressive. We're joined today, as I said, by the Assistant Director in charge of the New York FBI office, Bill Sweeney. He'll give you some details about the investigation, but you do need to understand that this case is very much active. It's still very much active. Our primary focus has been to identify and apprehend.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Stocks close mostly flat as oil settles off highs. Fed BOGI'd. U.S. equities closed mostly flat on Monday after a choppy session, with telecommunications lagging as investors geared up for 2 key central bank meetings. The Dow Jones Industrial Average briefly rose more than 100 points before closing about 5 points lower, with Apple contributing the most losses. And we have some breaking news. After our buzz, ASNA, SEAS, RCL, CHK, and more. ASCENA Realtor Group saw its stock plummet 24% in after-hour trading after the company reported quarterly earnings of 8 cents per share, missing expectations of 16 cents per share. Its revenue of $1.81 billion beat estimates of $1.77 billion. National security moves to the top of 2016 campaign. Donald Trump is emphasizing the terror threat, and Hillary Clinton is projecting claim. But only one of them can be right about how the shock of new attacks will shape in tight election that is now only 50 days away. The presidential nominees are making gut-level political calls in response to the weekend wave of attacks that thrust terrorism back into the center of their White House duel a week before the circle first debate. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday night. We'll see you back here at 8 p.m. for your 8 p.m. news and weather. See you then. Goodbye, everyone.